This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me, Travis with PlayerProps.ai, and this is where we're locking in for the Monday MLB games. Let's do a quick recap. Friday, we locked in a pitching prop for strikeouts, and if you remember Friday's episode, there were 3 players after we did our filters that were showing as potential trifecta plays. And if you don't know what trifecta means, if this is your first time watching one of these episodes, go to the Discord, our free Discord. It's free to join, and go to the free channel that says trifectas. That has all the details and goes much more in depth on what a trifecta is for a particular sport and a particular stat. There was nobody that crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's, and so unfortunately I forced a play that had. So one of the things we require is that the strikeout projection is at least 1.0 difference from the line, and the pitcher we locked in on Friday was 0.95, which I was like, yeah, it's close enough. But again, it shot us in the foot because it was not the full 1.0, and he did not hit. This weekend we had a lot of things that hit. If you guys have not followed our Twitter or TikTok or Instagram or Facebook page, we're posting plays. I guess you can say like TikTok plays of the day or Twitter plays of the day, whatever it may be. We're posting on social media throughout every single day, every single week. So even though I don't do this daily show on Saturdays and Sundays, it still benefits you to lock in and follow and subscribe to all of our social media channels. And if you're like, what's your social media channels? Just type in PlayerProps.ai on everything and we'll pop up. You already know what the logo is, the same logo as our app. Today is Championship Monday. There's a small chance Ben and I will be doing a championship show in about an hour or two, but not guaranteed. But there's a chance we're going to do a championship show where we talk about our favorite team bets and player props. So in case it didn't happen, I want to make sure I did a daily show for MLB here. As you see, there's a little more stuff happening in the setup that will eventually get to everything I want to do. You guys remember like Krypton looks like in the Superman movies and the comic books and stuff? I feel like I accidentally recreated Krypton. That's why I feel like I'm in a secret like ice cave. I feel like I'm inside of an igloo right now. Was not the intended effect, but hey, I'm all about it. Ice, baby. But now we have a few more things I want to do. The next stuff we're working on for our streaming setup and our show setup is the video quality. So I'm working on making sure all the settings are correct, and then maybe adding a few more things. But the desk is brand new. This desk is like 6 million pounds. This is the heaviest desk of all time. And I'm on the second floor, so I had to carry it up. So it was fun. But yeah, make sure that you listen to every single word that comes out of my mouth, that you're not just cherry picking and choosing. There are people that do this every single day, and then they complain when they don't win more than they lose. And I say, well, I told you so. If I say something, there's a reason. If there's a stat or a data point on the app, there is a reason. It's not. You don't download the app and just blindly plug in every single thing that the AI projection says. There is a method to the madness. There's a proven guideline system that if you follow all of the guidelines, you are guaranteed to lose less often. And imagine, even with that guarantee, how many people out there are still not listening and doing their own thing and losing a lot more often. Follow the guidelines, lose less often. But yeah, if you haven't yet, make sure you're in the Discord. This is something I have to say every single day because there's still people that aren't in the Discord. There's a lot of people that upgrade their accounts and don't get in the Discord. There's such a value add to the Discord of having 16,000 people every single day saying, this is what I found off the app, this is what I found off the app. And it's just kind of a mind hive of just thousands of people sharing what they're locking in, sharing what they found from the app, and then helping people who are brand new to it. So if you are one of those people who are brand new to it and you're like, I'm not really sure what I'm looking at, even though hopefully you've watched all the videos I've made for you to explain what you're looking at, if you need to ask extra questions, that's why the Discord exists. Hop in there, jump in the free channels or the premium channels if you upgraded, ask questions, get answers. Nobody's going to troll you. There's no such thing as a dumb question. We've already banned all the trolls. And if anybody wants to hop in as a troll, you're going to get banned too. Now that I've done my little yipper yaps, let's see what we're locking in here today. Let's go ahead and flip this screen over. And boom. That was a delay there. I almost had a heart attack. We're going to do what we do on every show. We're going to start on strikeouts. We're going to make the line 3. Let's keep the difference at 0 for right now, just to test some theories. And then, actually, no, we're going to keep the difference at, we've been doing all last week. I think we did 23. And so you see here, there are no pitchers that hit a trifecta. So how do I know that? So even though, for example, Severino, he has a 1.1 projection, or 1.1 higher projection than his line. 4.5 is 1.1 less than 5.6. And then we have, oh, actually, we may have one. I was looking at these in the overplays. So let's actually click under here. So Rick Fitz has a line of 3.5. His projection's 2.6. That's 0.9. And we already fell into that trap on Friday of doing something that's almost 1.0. But we go to this Carmen Mlodzinski guy for Pittsburgh, and he has a full 2.0 difference. All of the things that we look for are shown here, but St. Louis. If we go to the MLB ban list channel, which is a free to view channel inside of our Discord, one of the very first thing on the ban list is we do not do under K props versus St. Louis. Now, St. Louis could be a little different this season. So what we'll do, since there's been like a full week and a half of games now, week half-ish, is we're going to go to the team trends. We're going to go to MLB. We're going to say, okay, through this season, where does St. Louis rank? So if we scroll down, they're actually in the middle of the pack now. So they strike out about 8.11 times a game. Over the last 3 games, they've struck out an average of 9 times. The last game, they struck out 6. And 6 would put them, if we only based it on the last one, that would put them at, what, 7th best? Or 7th fewest strikeouts. They strike out 9 times at an average on away games, 7.67 times on home games. So they're still not striking out a whole lot, but over the course of the season, oh, sorry, we're looking at unders. Let me go back like a minute. We're looking at unders, so we don't want teams that strike out a lot. St. Louis traditionally strikes out a lot, but through this season so far, they are in the middle of the pack. Their last 3 games, they've averaged about 9, but their last game, they only had 6 Ks. Now, if they do a full 9 innings, only get 6 Ks, chances are, throughout 9 innings, that our guy can get 3 strikeouts or less, and then the bullpen will get the rest of the 3 there in theory. So hopefully that made sense to you. If not, I'll repeat it again. Carmen is on Pittsburgh. He's versus St. Louis. There's a rule in our MLB ban list channel in Discord, which is right underneath the MLB channel or the MLB VIP channel if you've upgraded your account. It says, do not bet under strikeout props against St. Louis. And this is from last season, right? So if he's versing St. Louis and we're looking at an under strikeout prop because we're looking at under 3.5, that would be part of the ban list. That ban list, again, those strikeout props on the ban list were created, last year. A few things have changed with rosters and everything, so it's not it's something we update as we go along with. That's why I checked the season data on the team trends tool, and it seems like they're right in the middle of the pack. If this line was 4.5 or 5.5, I'd be a lot more eager to go under on this man. His only start of the season, he got 4. But if we date back to, he had 2 games against St. Louis, back-to-back games. Oh, well, okay. We can't really pay attention to this. So what I notice here, you're like, oh, he does a lot of unders. But the first thing I notice is his position says RP, which is relief pitcher. So typically last season he wasn't a starter. He came out of the bullpen. And the reason I can tell that is because he pitched in the Kansas City 9-14 game, Kansas City 9-15, St. Louis 9-17, St. Louis 9-19. So starting pitchers have roughly like minimum of 5 days between their starts. So now that I know he's pitching, that these data points against St. Louis, these were in relief. So you can't really pay attention to any of this stuff here. Head-to-head doesn't matter because, again, that's in relief. He didn't have the he wasn't starting against the St. Louis these 2 games, which you can tell because the dates are so close together. Let me see here. So we got 4 in his. So he's finally starting for Pittsburgh. He got 4 in his first start against Tampa Bay. Where does Tampa Bay rank this season? Maybe we can use that as a data point of reference. Do they strike out a lot, or do they strike out a little? Tampa Bay actually strikes out the 3rd least so far this season. So he was able to get 4 strikeouts against the 3rd least strikeoutiest team. So if St. Louis is right down here, I can expect him to get probably 4 or more. So even though everything trifecta-wise checks out, it's still important to check out the ban list and check out this team tool. This is very, very important if you're looking at strikeouts or earned runs or kind of any pitcher stats there. This guy's a 0.9 difference here. Rick Fitz. His first start of the season, just like the other guy. He had 4 strikeouts in his first start, and we're saying he's going to get under 3.5. It looks like he had about 5 days in between here, so I can tell that these are more than likely starting appearances because 5 games, 5 days in between, 7 days in between, 5 days in between. So it looks like he had these 4 starts to end the season last year, and now he's in the starting rotation, probably due to injury, and now he's averaging 4 strikeouts so far this season out of his 1 game played. Man, I really wanted to go with Carmen. So he's versed 8 batters that are lefties. So if you go down here to the advanced data, he's versed 8 batters that are lefties. And he struck out 25% of them. So he struck out 2 of the 8 batters he's versed that are lefties. He's versed 11 batters, and he only struck out 18.2%. He averages 6.7 Ks against righties over a full 9 innings and 18 strikeouts against lefties. What kind of lineup are we looking at for St. Louis here? 1, 2, 3, 4 lefties, rest righties. Doesn't look like there's any switch hitters here. I don't know, man. It's on the ban list for a reason. We can't play that one. Can't play it. We're not gonna force plays here. So I don't think there's any pitching. So Severino, the books favor the under, which we have under toggled, which is why you see under 130 and the over is 100. His accuracy is under 50%, which we usually fade. He's had 2 starts this season where he got 6 strikeouts each. But, again, we pay attention to the MLB ban list. What does the MLB ban list in Discord say for San Diego? Anyone? Bueller? It says, we don't bet over strikeout props against San Diego. They are the least strikeoutiest team in baseball. So we're not going to touch this. So that's another reason why it's very important to pay attention to all the guidelines. We're trying to save you money. Not betting and not losing money on a bet is better than betting and losing money on a bet. You don't have to force bets just to have action on something. So we're not doing Severino. We're not doing Carmen. And we're not doing Rick Fitz. Toronto's also a very, very good not strikeout-y team. And it's also not a 1.0 difference. 3.5, 2.6, only 1 or 0.9 difference. So what do we do if we don't have anything pitching-wise? Well, we look at other stats. Let me make sure that my filters didn't take out anything that would have been a trifecta real quick. No. Hayden, Wozniacki. This is 1.0 difference. Okay, so his over-under is equal on both sides. And his accuracy is 50%. So the reason he was filtered out is because I had the difference at 23, but his difference is at 19. If you pay attention to the number in the Trifectas channel on Discord, I'm pretty sure it says 20, so we might change that to 19 since you can technically have a trifecta at 19, it looks like. His only start of the season against San Francisco, he got 6. He's projected at 5.5. Let's check. If we check the MLB ban list, what does it say? I checked it again for Seattle, who this guy's versing today. It says, we do not go under strikeout props against Seattle. But again, that was a rule that was built upon the data of last season. So let's see what Seattle's done so far this season. They strike out a lot, or they strike out a little. Let's see here. Let's go to Seattle is kind of in the middle of the pack. They strike out average of 8.5 times. Their last three, they've only struck out 6.33, and their last one only 6 Ks. So they are near. Hold on. The last three, they're number 2 least. Last one, they're tied for like number 5 least. Away, least. And home, that's not the case. Oh. At home, they strike out a lot. So, so apparently when I pull this screen up, you guys, hold on. No, you guys can see it. That's so weird that the screen's going on and off when I'm switching between things. But yeah, I'm looking here and I'm trying to think of, I don't want to force something, but there's a chance. So I'm pretty sure, I'm going to triple check, but I'm pretty sure Seattle's the away team here. And if you remember what we just looked at that they rarely strike out away and they strike out at home, which is kind of weird. No, this looks like they're home. Yeah, they're home. Okay. So this was another potential play. But they're home, they strike out a lot at home, and we don't want somebody that strikes out a lot at home going against the guy we're going under on. We can even look at the head-to-head, which was 4-11. That was almost a year ago. You didn't get any strikeouts against Seattle. Man. 5.5 is a really good line to go under on. 5.5 and 6.5, those are the best. One start so far. 40% strikeout rate against lefties. Holy moly. So he's only faced 10 left-handed batters, and he struck out 4 out of the 10. And in Seattle, he's got a switch with Cal, so he probably will hit right. Maybe he'll hit left, I don't know. Their best bats are all righties. He's got an 18.2 through 11 batters faced. 7.7, 13.5. Man. There's so many things that are almosts. But the more that I do almost and the more that they don't hit on the show, the more I never want to do almosts. So let's check some. Let's actually go to a different pitching stat. So my second favorite pitching stat is pitching outs. So pitching outs are, if a batter gets one guy out in the first inning, he's got 1 out. If he gets all 3 guys out, that's 3 outs. So you're trying to see how many outs is he getting, which is kind of the same thing as saying how many innings pitched is he going to have. But there's not a whole lot of difference on the over or under. See, yeah. Carmen's based, so all the data for Carmen is based on him throwing relief last season. So the data is very skewed here. So do not touch Carmen with a 10-foot pole on the over or the under. This, however, is interesting. He had 18 outs against the Angels. He's versing Pittsburgh. BP stands for bullpen. And so I think this data is also skewed here, because all of the stuff before is like 1s, 2s, and 3s because he came out of the bullpen with relief. So no touchy. So again, we don't have a pitching prop for you today. So let's go to my favorite hitting prop. Hits plus runs plus RBIs. We're 0-1 in the season with this. Who did we lock in? We did one episode where I couldn't find any pitching things. We locked in a guy. God, I can't remember his name. 4 at-bats, 0 hits, 0 runs, 0 RBIs. It was horrible. Okay, let's look at some overplays here. Accuracy 75%. 2.06. It's like June 12th of last season he versed this pitcher. Who's he versing today? Oh, Michael King. So far this season, he had a Cubs game here. So he's two. Oh no, he had a Seattle. Oh yeah, I was trying to. Sorry, I'm mumbling to myself because I'm trying to think of the first game of the season. Opening day was the 27th. So he's only missed 2 out of 10 games to open the season for hits, runs, RBIs. But he's not just getting 1. I mean, when he's hitting, he's 4, 4, 6. This guy's doing work here. His line actually opened at 1.5, and it looks like it's only at 0.5 now. What hand does he pitch? King, he's right-hander. Okay, so let's look at the right-handed advanced stats here. 36 plate appearances versus right-handed pitchers. He struck out 27.8% of the time. His average is actually 0.364, which typically when you're doing hits, runs, RBIs, you kind of want to see this above 300. Though. So 364 is not the worst. That number's probably going to go down because he's only had 36 plate appearances. 7.58 slugging, ISO. On base percentage 417. So if you're not sure these things here, we have a little key here for you, kind of explains it. I'm going to be working on a video now that I got most of my setup done in the office. But even though I tried my best to get you guys a pitching prop, I think what we're going to go with today is good old Tyler Soderstrom. What position does he, or where does he pitch? Or sorry, what does he hit out of? He is 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he looks like he's hitting 5th in the lineup. So if you remember what I told you on the last show, we don't ever target batting props for the 7, 8, and 9 spots because their opportunities are less because they're getting less plate appearances on average. But if he's batting 5th, it's not the worst. It could be better. I like top 3. Cleanup man's nice as well. I like the lefty-righty matchup. I'm going to do one more thing. Again, there's a reason. There's a method to the madness. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Michael King real quick. I'm going to go to strikeouts. I'm going to look at the opposite side. I want to see how good King is against lefties. Where is this man? Is he not on the board yet? Oh, there he is. Mike King. Get it. Okay, so we're going to go down here. He's allowed an average of 400 against righties. He's versed 7 of them so far in his starts. 7 plate appearances. His strikeout rate's pretty good. He strikes out over a 9-game inning versus righties only. He would have 18 strikeouts. Walk percentage 28.6. He's a lot better against lefties, though. And Soderstrom's a lefty. He strikes out 42.9%. He's versed 28 lefties. So it looks like everybody's trying to stack lefties against him. Barely walks them. Would have 16 Ks over 9 innings. What is his ERA? So his projection of ERA is the same as his line. Hits allowed. He's projected to get about 4.5 hits allowed, and we just need... He hasn't allowed, and he's only had 2 starts this season, and he hasn't allowed more than 4. But again, he's not going to pitch all 9 innings more than likely, and Soderstrom can still hit at the end of the game. We had Ben's TikTok play of the day hit in the 9th inning yesterday, so that's the best thing about baseball is it's not over until it's over. He only has a .167 average against lefties, average allowed. Yeah, man, this is... You're probably frustrated at this point of the show, but I do not want... I do not want to force something. I want the play that we wind up with to hit. .7% accuracy. Ooh, that's a really... These... Yeesh. Okay, so why didn't we look at this guy originally? Where's he batting out of? He's not even... Oh, wait. Oh, he's in the 7th spot. Nope. I don't like that spot. Let's look at Mike here. He's only missed once this season on the .5 line. I don't know if you hear my dog in the background screaming like a psychopath. Mike is batting second to last. Come on, man. Give us something. Just something. The first thing I'm going to check is where they're batting. I'm just going to go right to it. He's on Chicago. Where is Mike Bush? He's the cleanup man. Okay, something we can work with here. He's left-hander cleanup man. He's been very sporadic this season. 50% accuracy. Looks like he versed Evaldi on March 28th of last year, opening day. And it looks like he did cover .5 on this line. Evaldi's right-hander, right? Yeah. His average is not the best. So the last thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to see Evaldi's stats against lefties. Bush is a lefty. Yeah, Bush is a lefty batting cleanup here. He's allowed a .143. Man, I can't win with these. All of the matchups, like the projections and the matchups, are not showing me anything that's sexy. So maybe we just don't even do player props. I'm trying to think if there's anything here we like. I mean, there's something there. Toronto, Boston. Boston is a -135, which means the sportsbook gives them a 57.45% chance to win. REI says they have a 71% chance to win. That's the biggest difference for somebody who's already favored being much more favored. Both of the accuracies through a limited amount of games are 50% and higher. So, yeah. No player props today that I fall in love with, but we're going with Boston Moneyline -135. But before I lock in -135, let's see if we can get a better payout on a different book. -129 on BetRivers is the best odds. Second best is Caesars -130. So BetRivers -129 Moneyline. Boston's what we're rocking and rolling with. Sorry it took so long to get here, but we eventually got here. Do not force plays. If it doesn't check all the boxes, if it doesn't dot all the I's, doesn't cross all the T's, do not touch it. You don't want to force something, just have action. We went through 28 minutes of looking through a bunch of stuff, and it turns out that there wasn't something we fell in love with until we went to the Moneyline predictor, and Boston is showing us that the money line of -129 is extremely cheap compared to what it should be based on what the AI thinks is going to happen of the actual game score. So we're going to go Boston money line. And hopefully that doesn't bite us in the butt for spending 29 minutes of getting there. Good luck. Ask questions in the Discord. Ask questions in the Discord. And if you forgot, ask questions in the Discord. If you are unsure about anything you're looking at on PlayerProps.ai app or watching the show, for the love of all that's holy, ask questions in the Discord. Good luck.